the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down.
Welcome to Make It Make Sense podcast. I'm your host, Simply Talking. And today's episode we got From Victim to Victor, a journey of healing and hope with Demetria Goode.
Hello.
Did I pronounce your name right?
Yep, Demetria Goode. That is right.
All right. How you doing today, Miss Goode?
I'm good. And yourself? How are you?
Surviving in America.
Hey, amen.
That's all we can do. So you want to give the people a little insight on our interview today?
Absolutely.
A little bio on yourself?
Sure. My name is Demetria Goode. I'm the CEO and founder of The Good Fight. We bring awareness to childhood traumas, domestic violence, and mental health. We're doing some wonderful things. It created from me sharing my life experience. I'm a domestic violence survivor. My ex-husband brutally beat and stabbed me 6 times. So sharing my life experience will be the beginning of the journey of healing. So from me sharing my life experience, it started to help folks. So I wanted to create a bigger platform. So we share life experiences of others in hopes that they will connect with someone to start the journey to healing. We also have a youth program that we're giving back to the youth because from those traumas, I went back and I wanted to face my entire life. So I started with my childhood. So here we are today.
All right. And glad you're here.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. So my first question, my first question is, could you share a bit about your personal journey as a survivor of domestic violence?
Sure. My personal journey. It's a tough journey. You want to start from the healing piece of it, the aftermath, or doing? Which piece do you want me to share before the domestic violence?
The journey.
Huh? The journey?
The journey?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, after my ex-husband really beat and stabbed me 6 times, I went through a phase of my life where I didn't know myself. I was confused. I mean, mentally, I couldn't think. I was in disbelief for a very long time. It's almost like, how can someone love you and hurt you to the extent? Even through the challenges and the differences that we had, I never thought we would have gotten there. But months after going through my situation, I attempted suicide. I put 30 Percocets to my mouth. And as I put the 30 Percocets to my mouth in tears, my daughter at the time, she was a toddler, she ran in the room and she said, "Hey, mommy, I love you." And she kissed me on my forehead and I dropped the pills. And I cried for hours, but that was the beginning of my true journey to try to get myself back together, because I realized that I had 3 kids that needed their mother. So my little one saved my life. So going through the journey, you go through your face being messed up. So I had 15 stitches up my chin to lip. I had 3 staples in my head. He stabbed me twice in my hand. I had to have a major surgery on my hand to repair my tendons and nerves. I still have pain till this day. He stabbed me one on this upper shoulder, one on this shoulder, one on my heart, and one right here. So you can imagine how people looked at me and how embarrassed I was and how humiliated I was. I just didn't want to face life in itself. But I started doing things, affirmations that would help me. You're beautiful. And I would put stickies on my mirror in the bathroom, positive things that would help me. So I started repeating those things, and it actually it helped me to begin to get courage and faith in myself, to a little piece of loving myself. So yeah, that was the beginning of the journey piece.
Okay. So, what were the warning signs or red flags that you noticed early on in the abusive relationship?
I had so many of them. So I'll give you I'll give you a couple of them.
When you say so many of them, is this just,
Huh?
when you say so many of them? Is this just one person?
Yeah, just one person. Well, not just one person, but a person that was related to him as well, a youth.
Okay.
There were red flags there. Similarities of parent child were very much common. Um, there was, I can say, one statement was he told quite a few people that, he felt less of a man. His wife was out working and doing more for him, so he felt less of a man there. Instead of embracing it, saying my significant other is there for me and helping me, but he made it more challenging for me. Being disrespectful, uh, bringing like even his child's mother. I was pregnant. I had a high risk pregnancy. Bringing them in the house while I was at work, touring them around the house, even taking them into our bedroom. Um, Aggression. It was a lot of aggression. It was a lot of hurt and pain, and too deep for some to deal with. So I took on a lot of his hurt and pain, and I made him my problems. I think that was one of the biggest red flags. But
Mm-hmm.
also when through time he got in some issues with the law, and that is when I should have left him, and I didn't. My loyalty overpowered everything, because when someone goes through something and they really don't have anyone and they almost lose everything, it's like they're at their lowest point. You just don't want to walk away and leave them. And honestly, I actually should have walked away and left then.
Definitely, definitely. Um, how did you find the strength to break free from the abusive cycle?
First, I prayed to God. I prayed that God would get me out of the marriage, but He didn't say how. I didn't know how, but what got me out of the marriage was him brutally beating and stabbing me 6 times.
So you don't think you would have left if that never happened?
Um, I probably would have, or
Eventually.
eventually, or what people don't understand is,
Let me stop you right there. Hold up. Before that, was
mhm,
that the now when this happened? Was that the first time that it got violent, or he been like doing that?
violent with me as harming me, putting his hands on me. But there were multiple incidents of aggression, anger, and rage. And I can just give an example, not an example, but
I know what you mean.
a facts of an event that happened. Um, like my daughter's 3 pound, I meant, sorry, 4 pound Pomeranian. It had jumped on the couch. He had put a sandwich on the couch, and the dog jumped on the couch and started eating the sandwich. I was in the kitchen. I really had gotten up and went to the restroom or washrooms or something. But when he came back, I could hear the dog screaming. He had the dog in his hand and he was hitting the dog. And he actually popped the dog's eye out of his head. That's how bad it was. It was blood everywhere. And that was the beginning of my fear. Like, people don't they don't understand. I was actually living in a fearful relationship, so it makes it a little bit harder. So that's one example.
Yeah, and um, so I talked to a few women that been through DV, and what I couldn't understand, you just made a whole lot of sense. So what I couldn't understand was when I asked them the question of why are you staying in it, they always told me I wouldn't understand. But you just said what it was. It was fear.
Yeah,
If you're afraid, I mean, it's going to be hard to leave if you're in fear.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
people don't realize that fear lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
When
and it
somebody,
does.
yeah, when somebody instills some fear in you, it lasts a long time.
But I was a very strong person. When it came to my kids, I wanted to be a protection for my kids. So I did stand up when some of the abuse transformed that way with making fun of my kids, bullying my kids. So that was a piece of it. And as a mom, we're going to stand up for our kids. And like I tell folks, a person that has narcissistic behaviors and gaslight folks is always going to make you look like the bad person. They're always going to lie on you. They're not going to tell the truth of the entire situation. So they're going to try to keep people away from you and to hate you and to dislike you. And you're it's very rare that you're going to get honesty out of someone with narcissistic behaviors. And I think my kids was my courage to stand up, but I live fear each and every day from episodes that happen. So
Got you. Um, what were some of your biggest challenges you faced during your journey to escape and recover from the domestic violence?
challenges, I don't think I was really thinking about challenges. I think I was thinking about survival and, you know, how, to make sure the bills were paid, because I went through a lot of financial abuse as well. Because he would go to work, he would quit a job, he didn't care, he would get fired. So a lot of the financial burden was on me. So I was in survival mode. I don't even think I really looked at that piece. I think I looked at the piece that my kids got to eat, my kids got to go to school, I have to pay bills, the utilities. We have to make sure they don't get cut off, because I had the financial burden was on me through the entire relationship where we joined families together.
Wow, wow, that's sad. That's not manly. That is not manly. I mean, I'm 52 years old, and I was married for 17 years, and I guess I was abusive too, but it was never physical. It was always more so my tongue. I'm a Scorpio, and we got that vicious tongue, and we say things that what I mean. And for years, I pretty much went through the same thing. You know what I'm saying, in different relationships. And when I finally went through therapy, kind of found out I had mommy issues because my mother was abusive on me. And when I became older, it was like, ain't no woman gonna be in charge of me no more. I'm gonna be the boss. But
But it's good that you admit that, because I tell a lot of people, I'm like, a lot of men have mommy issues and a lot of
yeah,
females have daddy issues, right?
yeah,
Where it's either the mom, because I experienced that as well, is they'll hold you from not seeing the dad. So when you do see your dad, you're like, daddy, daddy. And you have a parent talking about, get out the window, you're not going to see your dad. That's abuse too, right?
uh-huh,
So I tell people that those are things that you have to address, because even through this domestic situation, I had to go back all the way to my childhood, because I had issues in my childhood. And what I realized is I was damaged. I had a lot of flaws, right? And I was suppressing those things with the vulnerability of love because I wanted to be loved so bad. So I would settle for what I thought was love. And this is just one of the situations is I in the beginning I loved this man so much that I would do anything to be with him because I thought what he was displaying to me was love as well. So we fall victim to that as well because we have those issues starting from childhood. And that's why I always tell people what we preach and the work that we deal with is going back to your childhood traumas to see if issues that you have now or relationships or situations that you are in is streaming from your childhood. But what I realized was I was looking at a lot of the men that I watched growing up. Those were the men that I was dealing with. And I thought I'm like, I would never deal with these kind of men. But also in the process, I continued to damage myself. So I've probably been on the abusing side, not probably was on the abusing side with my mouth, with my tongue as well, and we don't realize how damaging words are.
That's a fact. So, did you seek support from any organization or individuals such as shelters, counseling, or support groups? How did they help you out?
So first of all, it's very hard, and that's why I love doing the work that I'm doing. It's actually it's not that easy to find support groups. I think there needs to be more resources. You get more support after the situation. You scream out for help, you need help, or you could be like me, like I was silent, so I kept everyone out of my marriage. Um, he didn't. So um if I had support doing, if I spoke even like to my best friend, because my best friend didn't even know what I was going through because I kept folks out. But if I probably opened up to her and gave her an ear and talked to her, maybe she could have helped me with advice or through certain things because I really couldn't go talk to my mom. My dad was living with me, but he seen things. He would say things too, especially when it came to his grandkids. But for the emotional support I did after, I'm self healing. So I took what I did with therapists, and I recommend that people do go see a therapist and to get professional help.
I
But
agree.
I also think that when you deal with someone that has been through life experiences, that helps too as a therapeutic, but you're going through the healing. So if I talk to someone that has been through domestic violence and we connect and we're helping each other, you know what that does? That is causing a person to dig deep. People on a personal level will talk to you more if you can relate to them. What I found with the therapist, and that's why I wasn't in that place, is a lot of them can't relate to me because a lot of them didn't go through what I went through. So, what advice can you give me, right?
That's a
But
fact.
that's what we practice, helping others through life experiences. But if I talk to someone before the therapist, that depression rate that they do the 1 to 10, and you circle, I'm depressed, a 1, and I'm happy, or how it is, a 10. Originally, it could have been a 10, right? But
Hmm.
dealing with someone and you have a mentor or coach that has been through what you've been through, that 10 could be a 5 or a 4 or a 3 because we get put in a place. It's like you're going through a depression, so I'm going to just give you medicine, and a lot of professional help does that because it's like I'm going through a depression. I'm really not. If I had coping or someone to cope with me, I feel as though it changes the entire situation.
Understood. So, how has your experience as a survivor or of domestic violence shaped your perspective on relationships and personal boundaries?
Well, we have to create personal boundaries, and that's one thing that I'm learning too. If you want to be respected, you have to let folks know in a respectful way to respect your boundaries. So now, if I don't like something, I'll tell you, I don't like that. Please don't do that to me. And I'll tell you, A, B, and C, this is the reason. So I don't wait. I have a rule. It's like if I do something, tell me immediately because I can deal with constructive criticism because this is the reason why I have grown. But a lot of people get angry and upset when it comes to constructive criticism. And a lot of folks that give constructive criticism are only trying to help you, right? So we have to be open to that as well, right? So I believe in being honest in a relationship when the situation happens, not a week later or 3 days later when you get mad, you did A, B, C, D. For me, I don't even want to hear it. If you're not going to approach me when it happens and tell me how I've hurt you or affected you, I don't want to hear it. So, that's a big piece, but I'm scared to love. So I have issues with loving. So when someone gets close to me, I can kind of push them away because if the man that's closest to you almost hurts you, you don't know what someone that you're trying to learn and trying to get to know them could potentially do to you. That's what hits your head.
So when you say that, explain that to me. So you're saying that you saying you can't love no more?
No, I'm saying it's hard for me to love. It's trust issues because my ex-husband almost took my life. So it's always in the back of your head. You never know what someone could potentially do to you.
Man, wow, that's deep.
But it's real and it probably happens with a lot of people that have been hurt, but they just don't talk about it. So you're damaged and then you jump into another relationship and you could potentially be the abuser because you're damaged and you don't put those boundaries up, right? You're you're um you're violating boundaries now, right? So,
Gotcha.
I just want to be real. Like I do try to date. But I always have this piece in the back of my head is the amount of trust that I'm going to give, and it has to be earned, and it's hard because that piece of my life being brutally beaten and stabbed, it really damaged me, and I am healing from it.
Hmm.
I am learning from it, and it's a piece added to damage from me already being damaged streaming from my childhood, right? So
Yeah, and then with all this piss in the dating pool, it's kind of hard out here. It's kind of hard out here. So, what strategies or coping mechanisms have you found most helpful in rebuilding your life and regaining your self esteem?
oh, absolutely. So I love sitting by water, and water does clear the mind. It does help mentally. I take walks, the park. That is therapeutic for me because, as I said, I'm going through a self healing journey, and that is not an easy journey. So when I originally started, I lapsed a lot of times. Like I fell back a lot of times. So I don't recommend self healing, to be honest with you. I recommend that connect with someone that's going through your journey or seek professional help to help you cope with these things. And if you're looking for a therapist, try to get a therapist that has been through the traumas that you have been through so that they can help you. But anything peaceful, as far as the airport, water, walking, nature, that has helped me a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's relaxing, meditating, things like that. Understood. Well, the next question, I'm gonna have to skip this one because it's asking, have you been involved in advocacy? And we already discussed that at the beginning. You told them that you were.
I am a big advocate for the youth, men and women. So yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to this next one. What advice would you give to other domestic violence survivors who may be currently struggling or contemplating leaving an abusive relationship?
Don't ignore signs. Don't ignore red flags. If you feel it, believe it. Go with your heart. A relationship is not a sad relationship. A relationship should be a happy relationship. And when someone is controlling your life or that piece of it, if it's physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, sexually, verbally, that is not love. And anyone that puts their hands on you and is hurting you, that is not love. Um, Love is uplifting, someone that wants to see you be the best, someone that's going to embrace you. So if you're with someone and they're not doing that, um, you're probably going through a domestic relationship. And we have to have a lot of people think it's love because they've watched their mom or dad or their aunt, their uncle, or they've been through that piece of abuse. So that's another piece of it. If you are going through abusive situations that you went through even as a child, no, those are red flags. So that's a piece of it. Don't If your heart is saying it, then it's more than likely true.
That's a fact. All right. Well, you said an hour. I told you 30 minutes. That's the last question. All right. What do you believe society can do to better support domestic violence survivors and prevent abuse from occurring in the first place?
What do I think society can do? I think society should take it as it is, just like someone's murder, because it's a lot of domestic violence victims that end up murdered. Um, I think that society, when it comes to family and friends, should stop taking the abuser side, especially when they know that they're wrong. Because what they do is they're continuing to abuse the abuser. And a lot of them don't realize that the abuser is not telling them the full truth of what they have done to the victim. And to be honest, I think society should be honest to the abusers. I think society should hold them accountable to stop patting folks on the hand. And even if it's training, like in jail with the abusers or something that they have more programs that they put them through situations where they can feel the abuse that they're putting upon other folks. So a lot of this with families, and I just want to say this is it is very important to hold the abuser accountable. Hitting on someone, shooting someone, stabbing someone, you're supporting that. And you have to think about that. What if that was your son or your daughter or your aunt, your uncle, your sister, or your brother? You wouldn't want anyone doing that to them. It doesn't matter if that's your father, your mother, your aunt, your sister, your brother. You should hold them accountable for the things that they are doing to people.
Most definitely. I definitely agree with that because, yeah, I'm holding you accountable. I'm
Hmm.
definitely going to hold you accountable. So, you want to give out your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, all your little places so we can have this on the video?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Facebook, you can follow me, Demetria Good, Demetria. My last name's Good, Goode. I think I have a black dress on and I'm standing in my profile picture. TikTok, the same. The TikTok is the Good Fight, TheGoodFight. LinkedIn is the same. Instagram is the same. And we also have a Facebook platform as well as the Good Fight. You can follow us there. Our website is www dot thegoodfight.com. We do have a nonprofit organization. We are giving back to the youth. We have a lot of programs going on. We have workshops that are about to gear back up for our domestic violence piece of it. So we cater to both areas. And I mean, if you need the website, you can send information to connect with me. I do respond to messages, so you can reach out to me, and all our information is on the website as well.
All right. Well, I truly appreciate this, and I'm gonna get all. I got like about 7 interviews, and I got 2 more this weekend. So try to get like 10 interviews, and then I'm gonna start editing everything. So if you have any type of video, shorts, or whatever you want to be on this video when I put it up, make sure you send it to me. Any kind of clips or anything you want, just to showcase on this video when I put it up.
Okay. It
All
was
right.
an honor and a pleasure to be on your platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Nah, for real. Thank you.
My
So,
pleasure.
so as we wrap up today's episode, remember, take care of yourself and prioritize your well-being.